McElligott, and I'm joined right now by Doug Ute, who is the commissioner of the OHSAA. You know what? It's a really busy weekend, and I know you're not going to complain because a year ago at this time, there was nothing going on in the OHSAA. How excited are you to have all of your tournaments going on this spring?
Bob, it's great. I'll tell you, we don't have to go back a whole year. You go back to late November, early December with the numbers that they were with the virus in Ohio, and to get to this point, our number one goal this year was to keep our kids playing. And not just for the competition level, just for the well-being of our athletes, give them something other than the virus to think about. And so when we get to this point, we couldn't thank the folks at Nationwide and the Ice House more than to let our kids play in this arena, this environment. To end this is just fantastic.
For me, doing some high school football, I know in the summertime it was fingers crossed. Can we get the football season? And can there be a normal football season? And once there was, then can it be a normal basketball and hockey season? And you guys are doing that. And I know it's been a lot of work and a lot of hard work that's been put in by your staff.
Oh, absolutely. Ronald Sayers, our manager of hockey, has done a fantastic job and working with our Coaches Association and our venues around the state to make this happen, because we're not standing here if the folks at our venues don't provide a safe environment and make sure that our virus isn't spreading at our events. And so my hat's off to the member schools, the administrators there, but also the kids. Think about being a teenager now. You go to school, you go to practice, you got to go home because you're going to expose yourself to a quarantine if you don't. And so everybody's just made a huge sacrifice to get us to this point. We just couldn't be happier for a lot of things you mentioned. Just playing and getting to a state finals, because last year these kids did not get that opportunity. And as we head into spring sports, I can't imagine not taking my baseball season away when I was in high school. I cried at 9 when it rained outside, it rained that thing out. So it's just great for the kids and the families, and everybody in here today is thinking about something other than the virus, and that's a good thing.
And you mentioned the venues like this one here at the Ice House. Now, normally, these teams would be playing this game on the main ice at Nationwide Arena, and that's a great experience, no question about it. But if you can't have that one, this is a pretty good second choice.
Oh, absolutely. It's again, you're attached to the arena, so it feels like you're in the arena to me, from that standpoint. It's Mike Gatto and his staff here have just been wonderful. We worked for months with these folks to try to figure out how we can get in here, try to match our expenses with our revenues, because when 80% of your revenue comes from butts and seats, and we haven't had none of that for a year and a half, limited or no fans, we need some help on the expense side of it, and these guys have been wonderful here.
And you came in and took this job during these difficult times in dealing with all of these things. What's it been like for you personally? I know it's a gratifying job, but it is hard work right now, just trying to, as you said, you're trying to balance things out financially. You're trying to make sure the teams get to play. You're trying to make sure the kids are safe. What's it been like for you?
Well, just, I'm somebody that just tries to take 6 deep breaths, just relax. And really for us, we got such a great staff. I mentioned Ronald, everybody in our office. We have 17 full-time employees that have just really worked hard to make this happen. And so got a great staff. And again, as times rolled out, especially in late November, early December, all we could think about then is, what about that spike after the holidays? And what's it going to be like? And so really the leadership of the governor in the state, in my opinion, the governor, the lieutenant governor, has recognized that these kids need to be involved. And the virus isn't being spread here. Kids that got quarantined, the majority of them were quarantined for issues outside of here. And so to keep kids playing and that, but truly it is let's just keep kids playing, and whatever we have to do that, and just realize, we all have to do our part because if you think about this, it's a great platform for outside of sports, because we have access to 814 member schools, 350,000 athletes and their parents, to try to make sure our masks are on, our social distancing is happening, and do our part to move this great state of Ohio along.
And how much do you really hope that with the vaccine out and with everything else that's going on, I know it looks like it's winding down. We all hope it's winding down. But for you and your staff there at the OHSAA, how much would you like that come football season if you could be back to semi-normal?
Well, I've been telling folks all along, because my background is a teacher, coach, AD coach, high school principal, and 20 years as a superintendent. And I know how this goes on Friday night. So our hope is that yellow buses pull up the schools next year. Mass kids get off. They eat lunch together. They play on playgrounds together. And on Friday nights, the gates open up, and our communities can come back in and watch these. And I share this with the administrators at the school, because I've been there. You might even smile when somebody comes down to you and says, "Those middle school kids down in the end zone are fighting." You might even say, "I welcome that this year. I missed that last year." And I think we're headed that way. I really do. And it's really going to be important that we welcome our communities back in to our events, all of our events, to support our kids and their schools, because that's what it's all about. It's about, it'd be great if we could open this up. There are two schools playing here today that I know there are people sitting at home wishing they could be here. And so that's our ultimate goal, is to put our kids in these kind of environments, because they're lifelong memories.
Well, Doug, thank you so much. I really appreciate you talking with us, with all the fans out there, about what's going on. You and your staff, congratulations. You've all done a great job to make sure that we are standing here today, and best of luck moving forward. And again, we all hope it gets back to normal.
And I appreciate that, Bob, and I don't want to get off here without telling you how much the media, role our media's played in this, doing what you're doing today. We're streaming things at home, so at least you can sit at home and watch it. So we thank you and the rest of the media for that.
I appreciate that. Thank you very much. That's Doug Ute. He is the commissioner of the OHSAA.